You've been told your whole life to use strong passwords and don't reuse them. Maybe turn on two-factor authentication if you're being really careful. Now suddenly everyone's pushing passkeys. Google, Apple, Microsoft, and it feels suspicious. It feels like you're handing big tech complete control over your digital life. Today, I'll explain passkeys like you're 5 years old. By the end, you'll understand exactly whether passkeys actually make you safer or if you're walking into a trap. Here's what you need to understand first about passwords. A password is a secret you remember and type in every time you log into something. That secret travels across the internet when you hit enter, which means it can be stolen. Hackers break into the website's database, fake phishing sites pretend to be your bank, or someone literally watches you type it at a coffee shop. Passwords are like shouting your secret across a crowded room and hoping only the right person hears it. Passkeys work completely differently. When you set up a passkey, your device creates two linked secrets using fancy math. Think of them as a pair of keys that only work together. One key stays locked on your device forever and never leaves. The other key goes to the website you're logging into. When you come back to log in again, your device uses the private key to prove it's really you without ever revealing the actual secret. It's like showing an ID card at a bar. The bouncer verifies it's real without memorizing your address and birthday. The payoff here is massive. No typing means no traveling across the internet, and no secret being sent means nothing to steal. That phishing site pretending to be Netflix can't trick you anymore. Your device only responds to the real Netflix website. It's checking the actual web address, not just what looks legit to your tired eyes at midnight. Passkeys are mathematically impossible to phish, unlike password. This alone eliminates the two biggest threats to your accounts, breaches and phishing, which account for over 90% of all account compromises. But here's the fear everyone has. What if I lose my phone? This is the question keeping people from switching. So let's walk through what actually hands. If you use iCloud Keychain on Apple devices, your passkeys automatically sync across everything logged into your iCloud account. Your iPhone, your iPad, your Mac, even your Apple Watch all have them. Lose your phone, and you can use literally any other Apple device you own. Same deal with Google Password Manager across Android phones and Chrome browsers. Here's what makes this actually safer than it sounds. You can register multiple devices for the same account right from the start. Your phone gets a passkey, your laptop gets its own separate passkey, maybe your tablet gets one too, all for the same Netflix or bank account. They're not copies of the same key. They're individual keys that all open the same door. Lose one device and you've got several backups ready to go. And most services that offer passkeys still give you recovery codes when you set them up. Now here's the part nobody explains clearly enough. People think switching to passkeys means big tech can lock them out whenever they feel like it. The actual risk is the same one that's existed forever: losing access to your account recovery methods. If you get locked out of your Google account and don't have a recovery email, backup phone number, or those recovery codes, you're toast. But that was already true when you were using passwords. Passkeys don't make that risk any worse. They just eliminate the "my password leaked in a breach" and "I clicked a phishing link" risks entirely. And those happen thousands of times more often than someone losing every device they own, plus all their recovery methods simultaneously. The risk hasn't increased with passkeys, it's just moved. With passwords, you're playing defense against hackers, data breaches, and phishing scams, plus your own tendency to reuse the same password everywhere, because who can remember 47 different ones? With passkeys, the risk shifts to something much more specific and rare. You'd need to lose access to all your devices and your recovery options at the exact same time. That's like worrying about your house burning down while you're being struck by lightning during a tornado. The math is simply in your favor here. You're trading constant daily threats for an extremely unlikely catastrophic scenario that you can easily prevent with basic preparation. Think of it like this. Passwords are your front door with a lock everyone has a copy of the key to. You're just hoping nobody tries their key in your door today. Passkeys are a biometric scanner that only opens for your fingerprint, and you've got backup scanners at 3 other locations. Here's where the strategy becomes crucial. Switch now if you already use a password manager. You have more than one device in the same ecosystem, like 2 Apple products or an Android phone plus Chrome on a laptop. And you're tired of that mini heart attack every time you hear about another data breach. Your minimum safe setup is 2 devices with passkeys enabled, plus recovery codes saved somewhere offline. A screenshot in a different cloud account. A printout in your desk drawer. Literally anywhere that's not just one place. Wait for now if you only have one device total. you don't have a backup method you trust yet, or you're still figuring out basic account recovery. The danger isn't passkeys themselves. It's switching before you've secured your safety net. Here's what nobody tells you about why companies are pushing this so hard. The companies pushing passkeys aren't doing it to trap you. They're doing it because password breaches cost them billions in fraud, customer support, and lawsuits every year. Your security problem is also their money problem. Are they saints? No. But your interests align here. They want you to stop getting hacked because it's expensive for everyone involved, especially you when you're spending 3 hours on hold trying to prove you're really you after someone in Romania bought 17 iPads with your stolen password. Microsoft alone spends over $1 billion annually dealing with password-related support and fraud. Some people worry that Apple or Google will hold their accounts hostage or start charging ransom fees to access their own passkeys. That's not how this works, and here's exactly why. Competition. If Apple pulled that move, you'd switch to Android and Google would throw a parade in your honor. If Google did it, Apple would run commercials about it during the Super Bowl. The tech giants are locked in an eternal battle for your loyalty. The second one of them gets too greedy with something this fundamental, you bail to their competitor. But here's my actual take after explaining all of this. Passkeys are freedom from the constant low-grade anxiety of wondering if your password was in that breach you just got an email about. Freedom from trying to remember if your password for this site is the one with the exclamation point or the $sign. Freedom from falling for phishing scams because you were distracted and the fake site looked convincing. But that freedom only exists if you set them up correctly. The trap isn't big tech controlling your login. The trap is thinking passkeys are magic and skipping the boring part where you set up a second device and save your recovery codes somewhere you won't forget. Here's what you should do this week to test this without risk. Pick one account that matters. Your email, your bank, whatever keeps you up at night when you think about it getting hacked. Check if they offer passkeys. And if you have 2 devices already, set it up on both. Save the recovery codes they give you somewhere that's not just your phone's screenshot folder, because when your phone dies, that folder dies with it. That's it. You don't have to switch everything overnight. Just start with one account and see how it feels. Live with it for a week. Notice how much faster login is. Then decide if you want to add more accounts. To recap the critical points, passwords are secrets you type in that travel across the internet and can be stolen by breaches, phishing, or someone watching over your shoulder. Passkeys are secrets your device proves mathematically without revealing them, making them impossible to phish and worthless in data breaches. The fear of losing your phone is valid but overblown. Passkeys sync across devices, you can register multiple devices, and recovery codes exist. The risk didn't increase. It moved from constant threat of theft to losing everything, everywhere, all at once, which is statistically way less likely and completely preventable. The minimum safe setup is 2 devices plus recovery codes saved offline. Means aren't trying to trap you. They're trying to stop paying billions in breach-related costs while you benefit from not getting hacked. So here's the real question. Are passkeys the freedom from password anxiety we've been waiting for? Or are you holding back because you don't trust big tech with something this important to your digital life?